What's up, Twitch and YouTube? We've got my man Ragusa Six Quick in the building for another episode of Around the Gjallarhorn, and I'm super excited to sit down with him. He's a recent Twitch partner, huge success in the directory right now, and absolutely tearing it up, toting the ball in Madden. So we're going to pick his brain about a few things today. We're going to get a little bit of an introduction to the Dirty Nightman persona and figure out what our guy Rag is all about. So Rag, appreciate you taking the time to be on the podcast, man. Thank you so much for coming through.
I'm happy to be here, man. I always like to try to be a part of anything with people that are good to me, and some of the people don't know, but whenever we didn't have any liquor or shots or beer, so we poured up. I think it was 12 full ounces of wine. Just chugged it. It was nasty, but you made sure that our partner. You have to say why they should accept you. And we're the dirty.
Man.
We're pretty nasty, and you put some nice words together, so I appreciate it.
I pulled them up here. I thought that you might bring that up. I figured. So I actually,
do you have it?
I got it right here. I got it right here. So
guys, oh hell yeah, dude!
Yeah, man. I'll set it up. So like Rag was saying, guys, it was a late night stream too. It was pretty late, and Rag was gonna push the button to apply for partner, and I happened to be up like in the demon hours at that time. Normally I'd be asleep at that time
3 a.m.
on a work night. Yeah, it was super late. But I think I must have had like a day off the next day or something. So. Yeah, Rag was going to push the button, and they make you. He was filling out the application live with everybody in the chat, and he basically had to write this little paragraph, which is like not an easy thing to do. Like write a paragraph why you should be partners. So I was like, you know what, I'm up. I used to be an English major. I used to do fair amount of professional writing back in school. So I tried to cook something up from your perspective that kind of summarized what Ragusa was all about to me. So these are the words that I wrote down here, and this is literally. Copy paste, you put it right into the application, and we all know the story. He got that check mark. You see the tooth that he's got on right now. You see the hat. He's a partner now.
It took a freaking long time, but I don't blame him. They had to make sure the things I was saying was okay.
Yeah, you had probably one of the longest wait periods that I've ever heard of too. You didn't have to apply a second time, but they took their time making sure you were fit for TV. But here's the words, guys. This is what I think of Ragusa. My name is Ragusa Six Quick. I dominate the late night Madden Twitch streets and pummel my opponents with girthy runs and masculine defense. I have single-handedly crushed the Twitch partner goals and currently sit among the top streamers in the Madden directory. I built a strong following on Twitch and Twitter, participated in high-stakes tournaments, and built a strong, supportive community of fanatical viewers, recently topping 2,000 subscribers. I would relish the opportunity to represent this platform as a partnered streamer, and I will continue to build my Dirty Nightman brand with passion and integrity. Ragusa Six Quick, and that was it. I was surprised. You know what? That's
perfect, man. Those are really kind words, man. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, man. I feel like one thing from being a regular in your chat and hanging out and enjoying the vibes. You really kind of wear your heart on your sleeve and you let people know who you are. You're very true to yourself, I think, and at the same time you're a lot of people wouldn't realize that you're a really approachable dude, and like you said, you take care of the people that take care of you. How did you first get into the streaming game? Like, how long have you been on Twitch now? As an affiliate and now as a partner.
So I'll answer that question, but first, like talking about like being approachable or being myself. Like I feel like everything I've ever done in life, some things good, some things bad, but I've never done anything mediocre. I think mediocrity, whether you're a teacher or a coach or in the military, I think mediocrity is a choice. And I think it's a disgusting choice, and people settle for mediocrity. They look at other people and they go, oh, that's okay, that's good. But they don't set any goals. You could set goals and still be a realist. I'm very real with myself and reality of what you can and can't be. But mediocrity is a choice. Now, sometimes it takes longer, but as far as that goes, I think that I chose, before I say why I even got into it or whatever, I think I chose live streaming because of the fact that, YouTube is great and all, you can edit and do all that stuff, and they have live streaming, but it's not even close to the number one live stream platform is Twitch. Facebook streamers, they can love it and have a good time. I'm happy for them, but it's not even close. This is the number one live stream platform, and what makes live special is like the emotions, the good days, the bad days. You can't edit that out, and I think that's how can you build the realist community, which in a short amount of time, I think the community I have over there is just full of great people, including yourself, from all beliefs, religions, colors, everything. They're not from top to bottom, and
Yeah.
part of that is is some of those people they never were on Twitch before, but they enjoy the community and the realism.
Yeah.
So that to me is being transparent as far as seeing the good days, the bad days, and the emotion is,
Yeah.
is just why I would even have chosen to even venture off. And the true why is because I was bartending, and actually my uncle's got some property. I would work on my uncle's property and just make money when COVID hit. Um, Plus my self control at the bar.
Yeah.
My wife had just got pregnant, and
Yeah.
it's one thing to bartend, but I like to party. So,
Yeah.
coming home late, and then it just doesn't go good with someone that's pregnant, that lifestyle of being in the bar.
Yeah,
Plus
for sure.
COVID, the bar industry was going down. So I really was kind of like, what the F am I going to do?
Yeah.
So I started streaming, and then took the little bit of money I had, because the stream started to pick up a little bit, and I took the little bit of money that I had and put it into some stuff in the stream so people could see a good product. Really rolled the dice on that, and then it just continued
Yeah.
forward from there. But the why really was just kind of like life. What are you going to do? But I always had a stream. I was speaking of affiliate.
Yeah.
Before affiliate, I was they changed the affiliate protocol. I was -6 viewers because
How does
and
that
it wouldn't
happen?
change.
Yeah.
It happens because you stream a certain amount of hours. I would stream like 10 hours, but all money games just on like the Ragusa 6 quick
Yeah.
stream. So I had proof for Players Lounge,
Yeah.
the application for money games. Um, but I had nobody really watching, maybe one or two people.
Yeah.
And so my viewers on average over time, 10 hours with no people or one person, you,
Yeah.
you end up going into like a negative number. And it wasn't as easy to get affiliate as it is now, which I'm glad it's not like it was. I mean, when I tell you like you would be I was at -6, and then like think about how to come out of a negative
Yeah.
number. It's kind of like debt. I mean,
Oh yeah.
so the moment I
Dig
decided
yourself
like, oh, I
out.
want to stream for real, I was trying to get affiliate, but still making money doing various things to make sure that I could be a man and do hold
Yeah.
up my part. And then just went all the way with it. I think that it's kind of like a dreamer's vision, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I don't believe in that. I mean, I think I just knew that I could do it, and you can't really do something all the way if you have shitty products or whatever else. You have to put a little bit of money into what people are
Yeah.
going to watch. I mean, why would
Oh,
you watch
100%.
something that's not HD or whatever? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just didn't have any money at the time, or I had started over in life, really. I mean, going kind of like paycheck to paycheck, and then saving up money for the baby.
Yeah.
But the money I did have available, I put into the stream.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like taking a gamble and putting in thousands of dollars worth of equipment to get the product that we now see. Which is a new stream room that you're working out of now. You got obviously like really good quality mic and video, but also I noticed that you take a lot of time. Like you really are in tune with how you market your stream, the visuals on your stream, the artwork. That's one thing that's always come
Yeah.
across to me. Like are you like an artistic person? Like, do you have any background in that? Because I notice your graphics are kind of out of this world, and like all the pictures
Oh,
that you post on Twitter and whatnot.
I enjoy art. I'm getting better at it. When I was growing up, I got into art a little bit because it was mandatory for one of the classes we had. I wish I could find it but other than like maybe one piece of art, which was like a pastel bobcat that
Yeah,
it looks pretty amazing. No, not really, but I've always been fascinated with like graphic design. So I like to take pictures and then stick them in and try to do different effects to them without
yeah,
flooding out the picture. Obviously, not like
yeah,
a Snapchat type
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
But no, I don't have an art background. I like to look at something and then visualize an idea. It takes me a long time. Like some of the emotes you see,
yeah,
I have a lot of emotes, but some of them take a lot longer than others because you have to take like the pixel and then get it to the regulated requirement for
yeah,
Twitch, and then but some of it's just natural, like the Dirty Nightman flashing emote. That's just
yeah,
literally a picture put into a program to
yeah,
I guess you would call it like an animated emote or whatever they
yeah.
call it.
So you,
So
so you
that's
make
just a picture.
Yeah, so you make a lot of your own emotes? Like, would you make all your own
Uh,
emotes, or do you?
every single emote I made except except one. Yeah, they're all
Yeah, that's
mine. I made them
incredible.
all.
I see. I still like. I have no clue with graphic design. I'm still paying guys to do mine every time I get a new idea for an emote. So why not do it yourself if you have the capability for it? But
Well,
that
you
yeah, that's
could self-teach yourself too. That was another reason. I mean, why pay someone,
yeah,
25, $30 a pop when I can.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the money that I save, it kind of goes into the time though, because if I think it's going to take an hour, it ends
yeah,
up taking like 3 hours because I start having fun. So
yeah,
you lose stream time, but at the same time, at least you
yeah.
did it and you did it yourself.
Well, exactly, and that's just another example of like being a content creator and a streamer, and you're kind of getting your YouTube off the ground as well, and you got a TikTok account as well, and all those links are in the chat. If
Oh,
you guys
thank
have
you.
actually have
Yeah, I
fun
don't use
branding,
those
yeah,
probably as much as I should, but also I think I learned from a young age. Like I used to wrestle and play football, right?
yeah,
And the moment you get to a competitive level, it's very rare. And even the ones that did like that, you'll play two sports and be as good as in one sport as you are in the other.
yeah,
So I think that to truly like be dominant or master, which I'm not a master of this world, not yet. And mastery is really like a set of mind.
yeah,
I don't know if you really ever master anything. That
yeah,
that that can lead to complacency.
yeah,
But like with YouTube, what I do is I don't really do any TikToking or whatever. I use Twitter because that's a social media platform to
yeah,
market what I do, which is Twitch. And then same thing with YouTube. Is right now the YouTube's not really built, but I haven't put a lot of time into it. But I'll
yeah.
use I'll pay like an editor, Bo Riley. I don't know if you know who that is. He's
Yeah,
a
I know
great
him from
young
your
man.
chat. I've seen him around
Yeah,
Twitch for sure. Yeah, that's your editor.
I,
Let's
yeah, I'll
go.
pay him to do different things like that. Rag 6 on my stream, it's actually an animated overlay, but it's probably
Yeah,
hard to get that file
yeah,
into what you're doing over here. But yeah, I'll pay people different things. One, I like to help good people, so
yeah.
you know, paying
Absolutely.
him to do a couple things for me helps him, and then he's just a great person. He's been a part of the stream and my friend for a while now, so
Yeah. Well, and
good.
you
He's in
kind of like,
college, extra money for him.
oh, let's go. So he's a young buck then. Nice.
Oh
And
yeah, he's smart, good
it,
person.
yeah, and it's kind of interesting. Like some of the friendships that you can kind of develop through here. Like you really do meet a lot of interesting people on Twitch. I
Yep.
was telling other people who've been on here that I really didn't even know what Twitch was till COVID started. I had no clue. Like I'd heard of it, but I didn't know. I was like, oh, is this just like a bunch of like 12-year-old Fortnite players watching it or what? But you really do like you have a lot of guys who are in your chat every single night. I see the same the regulars that are in
Yeah.
there, and you kind of build a relationship. You get Pablo the cigar man. Like everyone has their own persona in your chat too, which is kind of
Yeah.
cool. So like were you surprised that you kind of were able to kind of build these relationships with kind of strangers that you've never actually met face to face in a lot of cases?
Yeah. I actually was surprised. Not I didn't really know. I didn't look at Twitch like like a bunch of kids on there, but
Yeah,
I definitely didn't know like the quality of humans on there.
yeah,
But also, it kind of comes with the streamer. Everyone has their own community that builds that's a little different. Some people, they're on the platform often. They go multiple places, and sometimes you won't see other names other than
yeah,
certain places. But you have to value yourself as a streamer too. Just as they enjoy the content, right? And they take care of the stream in whatever way they feel pleased when they so feel pleased to, or when they so pleased to, or whatever the word is.
yeah,
At the same time, they do that because like different people, whether it's military background or they just got off of work.
yeah,
Um, it's just like if you go to a restaurant and you enjoy your meal, you have a good waiter. I feel like most of humanity doesn't have $100 bill for food and then say,
hmm,
here's $5. I mean, those kind of people. I mean, I guess that's
yeah,
just you feel how you want, but I feel a certain way, and I feel it's the same way with the content. Everyone has their own things going on in life or has things in their head, and I look at my stream personally. I'll speak for myself as an escape. They come, they it's me. What's up, Liza? He's in the United States Navy.
oh, let's go, sir. So thank you for your
Um,
service. Appreciate that.
they come and it's an escape to have a good time, have some drinks after a long day of work, and
Yeah,
and on top of that, you build relationships, and that's what Discords. I'm sure you have a Discord.
yeah,
Discords are important for that because when you're not online, as long as you're a good dude, you want to facilitate and just do the best you can to create a place where people can hang out still, you know, because
Yeah.
they may meet each other because of your stream, but the relationships, and that was surprising to answer your question,
Yeah.
not ramble. I definitely
No,
didn't think the
ramble away.
relationships, because
Yeah.
it's definitely shocking, because not everybody, right? Like, there's not everybody, like, you know, if they needed something, that I'd be like, yeah, sure, you know, whether it be money or whatever else.
Yeah.
But there's certain people that, like, I know without a doubt, you know, if they needed something,
Yeah.
and they needed a favor or whatever, like, without even meeting them, I would do it, because
Yeah.
I know, as crazy as it sounds, that they would do the same for me if it was necessary. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely crazy. But it's a different world than what me and you grew up in as
Yeah.
kids. You know, it's just the world in every way is different. So,
Yeah.
you
100%.
know,
And you know, it's true, like the idea of being a professional, you know, streamer, that's a job that didn't exist, like, you know, when I was growing up. Like, that was something that we never would have thought of. But you
no,
know, and I'm a few years
YouTube.
older than you. You're a little bit younger than I am, so I don't know, maybe it was
I'm 27, so
yeah.
you may be a little older, but not
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day, like YouTube came around 2006. That was my grade 12 year. So like I went through all of high school without YouTube even existing. So you know, I was already a fully grown adult by the time, you know, a lot of these services like that we utilize now to kind of grow our channels have come up. So it's kind of a crazy thing to think about, but
It
you
is,
know,
because
like
when I graduated high school in 2013, so, like, what is that, 7 years after you?
yeah, yeah, 6 or 7,
YouTube
yeah.
was really just kind of going on, because I think about, like, highlight tapes for high school. They're none of them were really on, like, YouTube. It was
Yeah.
rare, and then if they were, the quality wasn't what it is. So
Yeah.
the world's already changed. I mean, that's 18, almost 10 years later now. So
Yeah.
that's why I tell people, you know, there's really, I don't look at stuff in a short term. You should never go into anything, especially as we get older, short term, or
Yeah.
whatever. You know, if it ain't $10,000 this month, and if it goes up and down, whatever it is, I don't look at it that way, and I look at it long term, because you'll see, like, Facebook, right? Facebook streamers, they're so big because Facebook, you know, what they're doing is they'll take streamers with really less viewers than whatever you would call your average,
Yeah.
and they'll offer them a certain amount of money to leave Twitch and be a partnered Facebook streamer.
Yeah.
And so imagine what they would offer me in a lump sum, to leave this platform, the number one streaming platform, and
Yeah.
and go over there, right? So let's
Yeah.
say it was 6 figures, a 6 figure number, to leave the number one streaming platform.
Yeah.
Is it really worth that? No, hell no. Because
Because you're looking at
long
the long
term,
term,
why
yeah.
would you want to go? Why would you want to go for 6 figures that you're gonna make more than that over time,
Yeah.
anyways? On the best
Exactly.
platform, which the platform, as you go on, if you commit to it, and you receive partner,
Yeah.
you don't go under. It's not an affiliate agreement. If you look at affiliate agreement, it's an agreement.
Yeah.
But the partnership is incredible, because it's a contract. You know,
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it's that's why less than 1% of the world, as far as the whatever the number is that
Yeah.
you Google for people that stream on Twitch,
Yeah.
only less than 1% has the check mark. So that's what's incredible for our small community, is we have a decent amount of partner streamers in
Yeah.
Madden,
Considering the size of
because
the directory, yeah,
oh
it's
yeah,
impressive.
the global number. I mean,
Yeah.
which tells you a lot about our community, a smaller community, and one, it shows you hard work and driven people.
Yeah.
And then if you look up throughout the community, you may not see everyone at over 1,000 subscribers or whatever. But for the directory to be that small, and to still see, like, the content appreciated at the highest level,
Yeah.
I think that's the beautiful thing that a lot of people don't talk about. Because if I showed
100%.
you my common viewers, you know, Mike,
Yeah.
Skimbo, and Dubby, they
Yeah.
represent less than half of my common viewership. I
Yeah.
think me and Dubby share 9% of the same viewership, and then
Yeah.
I think Skimbo, I'm confused by that, but me and
Yeah.
Skimbo, pretty different personalities, but
Yeah.
him and me have the most common viewership, which means people watch
Yeah.
both channels. And
Yeah.
so that right there tells you, um, in a small community, there's still so much love for the content
Oh yeah.
of football, gaming, or Madden are the only game we have.
100%. And you know, it's true. You do look at, like, Twitch does a good job of providing a whole bunch of these metrics that you can kind of look at, like, you know, what country people are coming from. They're always adding new
Yeah,
states and
that's pretty
stuff.
cool.
And but it's true. It's like the guys that you kind of collaborate with the most. Typically, you'd have the most crossover with. And you know, you've collaborated with some great streamers in your time on Twitch. And one thing that I wanted to ask about, because you kind of, you come across now, we're in an interview type situation, super down to earth and whatnot. But what about this Dirty Nightman persona? When did this first come into being? Because I can think of the first time that I saw it was probably before you entered your first bot wars, and I saw a tweet that went out, and I think that's the first time I saw in writing the Dirty Nightman. It was asking to get in the first place. Was that something that's been going on for a long time?
No. So actually, you have the tweet that the Dirty Nightman tweet Dirty Nightman didn't even exist or whatever. I didn't know where that came from after the first bot war. So the second bot wars is what you're thinking is the first one. Yeah. The first bot wars was different than the second bot wars of like the face paint and stuff. Like that was different because the first bot wars I went on there and I didn't know why people were. My Twitter was going absolutely berserko after the first bot wars that we got on, and to get on those bot wars was different. There was no like qualifying tournament. It was just a video file, and you had to send a Y, and I just sent it in. I actually did it incorrectly, but he couldn't deny me entry because I didn't know W at the time. Yeah. Based on the community, whenever they saw the video. But the Dirty Nightman wasn't created. I have no idea where it came from. I think in the middle of one of the games, I must have said something along that because I asked my wife. I was like, my wife's from a foreign country, so I was like, babe, like why is everyone sending me like unbelievable amount of tweets calling me the Dirty Nightman? And she goes, well, that because you call yourself Dirty Nightman. And so awesome. I mean, it just kind of came about, but it just we just keep it going. Like one of the tweets from the last bot wars has like almost 20,000 views. I have it pinned because it's so good. But
is that the one with you with BG Fam when you were putting it to him with a not many can handle it.
We because I just think the what I said in the tweet's good too. Even if I die, the Dirty Nightman lives forever. And I think that that's an underrated statement, because when we die, depending on what you believe, sometimes, people worry about, how do they remember you? But personally, when I'm dead, the way that I believe is it really won't matter if people love me or hate me because I'm going to be dead. I'm going to be resting. But what's cool is like a term that one of my friends in the chat, Duck, he uses is legends never die. And I love that because in the end, if you ever did something or you were extravagant in any way, people will remember that. Yeah. And so like that's what I think of for like the Dirty Nightman, especially with football gaming. I mean, unbiasedly, I've never seen anything quite like myself.
Oh, I 100% agree, and that's what I was saying to people because my community, a lot of guys obviously, like you said, there's carryover. There's guys who watch Skimbo, they watch your channel. There's a lot of guys who know you in the chat. Captain Joe was in here earlier, dropping your emotes.
He's a good guy.
But then there's some of the younger guys in my chat, and they don't know you yet. I'm like, how do you not know Ragusa? They don't know what Bot Wars is. They don't know any of this stuff. So I said, the one thing you need to know about Ragusa is, first of all, he's a consummate showman. Second of all, he's absolutely unique and one of a kind, and that's one like there really is
crazy.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of high level gameplay guys out there. There's a lot of market gameplay guys. There's not a lot of people out there who are getting up and humping the air while they're playing, while they're toting and running all over somebody.
Yoga.
Yeah, man.
Exotic yoga. Can't hump the air. That would be against terms of service.
That's true. Doing yoga. That's it.
Keeping my health.
Oh, I like that. It's just yoga, guys. Okay, that's good to know. But even the accents that you put on sometimes, the trash talk is on a level that I haven't seen anywhere else. Is that something that goes back to your football days, like kind of the showmanship and the trash talking?
That's crazy you asked that because you're a Canadian. I know y'all have football over there, but
yes, we do.
In America, a little bit different, and especially where I lived. I lived my whole life in Texas. My dad's from Long Island, New York, but I'm born and raised my whole life in Texas, and Texas football is different. I mean, there's other states with good football, but I just don't think that if you really think of a place that's like live, die from the Panhandle down, from top to bottom of the state, big ass state, that's quite like Texas. And so throughout that, playing football all my years, there was no like Xbox Live for a long time, and then you get to college, we didn't have no money other than our scholarships. Even me, you know, my dad could have spoiled me or gave me money and, you know, made me lesser of a man. You know, there's a special word for it, but I won't say it. So, you know, we have no money. So we have Xboxes, we take them to the locker room or to different dorms, and we play maybe with the little money we have, money games in the locker room or the dorms, and then just talking smack, you know, and throughout that there's accents and your teammates are watching, and there's wrestling too. We'd have like contained fights, like not, you never punch your teammates in the face, but you know, course, like you know, people, you know, you're wrestling, you know, and the body slams and all that stuff, like. And Madden was always a part of that, like as far as like after partying or after practice and stuff. So to me, I mean, that just kind of carried over that kind of talk with the smack talk, except it's into a camera rather than somebody right next to you.
Exactly, and you know, kind of getting on the topic of football. So you played post secondary level. You played. Were you offered any type of a scholarship to play college football? I've seen a lot of your highlights that you know, when subs come through on your stream, like some pretty impressive stuff. It looks like you were a slot wide receiver.
Yeah, I was a slot receiver and then a kick return, punt returner. Yeah, I did. I got in some trouble, but I was able to get a scholarship still to a D1 AA school.
Yeah.
So I played. I played college football for 3 years. I went there for a year, 2 years total of playtime. Yeah. And then I wanted to transfer, and the nearest school was a little Division III school. I was dating a girl at the time, so I didn't want to send tape and go somewhere else because I still had tape, like obviously my high school tape, and then I had, even though it wasn't a bunch of touchdowns or anything, any type of Division I tape, like at practice or in the game, because I was an all-conference punt returner. I could have sent that in and went to like another school, but I went to the nearest school, and I'm glad I did. I had a lot of fun. My body started to kind of give away because I was 5'8", like 190 pounds, so pretty rocked up, but my muscles like started kind of acting up. I tore my hamstring, but I still played at that school. I was all conference receiver there, and then father got cancer, so I didn't come back for my senior year.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't realize that was a part of your story. Obviously, that's something that you know, not an easy thing to talk about, I'm sure. But
he beat it though. He beat stage 3 pancreatic cancer.
That's incredible. Yep. Like that's you know, that's actually an incredible story there. So it sounds like, you know, heart and fight is something that kind of is ingrained in your family dynamic, and you know that you guys are a breed of fighters down there in Texas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I think part of it's your you know, we're all born with certain genes or bloodlines, whether it's Irish or Italian or black, white, Hispanic, whatever it is. But I come from a strong Italian heritage, so I'm 50% Italian. You know, my mom has some Italian in her, and then my father is Italian as well. And my great grandfather was the first one to get on a boat and come to America. So like when Italians got to this country, they weren't treated nice. They were called mean names, and you know, you can look up history. Obviously, you can look into different things and whatnot. But a lot of those groups of people were created because they were discriminated against to get regular jobs. So they said, you know, F this place, you know, we'll create something. And then so you can follow history to see what Italians became. But I just think it's just in my mind. My dad and my family, when I was born, had no money. You know, my grandparents, you know, bought the cars, like the toy cars and all that stuff, because we were broke. But when you watch your father, you know, and then I don't want to get too deep on an interview, but my big brother was killed, and I think that was the hardest thing to handle as a young age. But it teaches you for life, because you see it all the time. I mean, that's my father's first son, and so you watch my whole life a man like just continue to excel, and not condemned to the sadness or excuses or depression. And so for me, wherever there's been highs, I've been on the highest of the highs, and then the lows, you know, from a young age, right after school to do all of my dreams, and at the time when you're young, it's all about money and girls, right? Like I did all that, and then I just self mutilate, or I don't know what the word is, but self-destruct,
self-immolate, or self-destruct yourself.
Just destroy everything from money to everything, and have nothing, and then to have to rebuild, and then create a new life, and now I have a
Yeah.
family. So, but
Absolutely.
throughout that, is just adversity. And some people, they're weak-minded people, and part of it is their own fault, and then the other part is like, how were you raised? Like, did you watch your parents
Yeah.
fight through adversity, or did you watch them, you just be shit and
Yeah.
quit? So that falls down, and so I was able to look at both sides,
Yeah.
the lows, but then watch my parents, they're fighters. So
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
think that excuses are for the weak.
Well, I appreciate you, kind of being an open book and sharing stuff that's not easy to talk about, obviously, and of course, condolences for that. And
Mhm.
you talk about family. Like, family is obviously very important to you, and you've had a chance now to build your own family. Like, how old is your daughter right now? Is she?
Zayla,
Yeah.
she's a year and
Yeah.
almost 5 months. She'll be 5 months, a year and 5 months and 4 days.
Yeah.
So
Wow. And
yeah,
she
that's the
basically
most
came
beautiful
into your
thing I've
life
ever
right
done.
when the Twitch thing started too. So you kind of do a good job. Like, she's come up on stream before. Back when you had your old setup with the sideway view, I remember you bringing her up on there and sitting on your lap and getting the controller in her hands and whatnot.
Yeah,
What's fatherhood been like for you? Like, how's the
it's
adjustment
beautiful.
been? Yeah.
It's the greatest. The adjustment, there's no adjustment. Honestly, I'm transparent. I was not probably the best boyfriend at the time, or partner, and
Yeah.
my girl had enough. So I actually we I was she told me she didn't want me around her, so I had moved all my stuff out, and then less than a week later, she just sent me a picture. She wasn't happy about it at the time, but
Yeah.
I had a choice to make.
Mm-hmm.
Be a better person, as far as like it never was like responsibilities or money.
Yeah.
Some men, they're lazy mother
Yeah.
effers, and they don't do anything, and they make excuses, and they just aren't a good they're not a good man as far as the construction of a man. But
Yeah.
mine was just like just not a good partner. Like, where are you at? Don't worry about it. That kind of attitude's nasty. But the moment
Yeah.
she got pregnant, I just decided, I lit up like a Christmas tree, and decided to just be a better person in that way.
Yeah.
Partying is fun and all, but it fades. It's a
Yeah.
it's a good time, but it's a family is something that you have for a long time. So it's been great. I wish my daughter could come on stream more. She's young,
Yeah.
but there's also a bunch of freaks out there, and the bigger
Yes.
your channel gets and stuff, there's scummy people out there. So I bring
Yeah.
her on there every now and then whenever she is feeling social and whatnot. But
Yeah.
it's just the world we live in. For
Yeah.
there may be
Unfortunately,
10
because
good people, but then there's 3 or 4 just nasty people.
yeah.
But
100%.
it
I
is
saw
what it
some
is.
Twitter interchanges that you were having with one guy who was just like some people. There's no shame, and
Yeah,
you
he was
wonder
a
about.
Canadian.
Yeah, I know, from out east. It makes me remind me not to go out to the East Coast now. Like, I know some good Canadians from out there, but
Yeah,
yeah, I think we'll disown him because I saw some of the stuff that he was sending your way, and
yeah,
absolutely uncalled for,
dude's a
man.
freak.
Yeah,
Yep.
100%. So, and then that's the thing too. Like, you wonder how much to be an open book and kind of share your life with people. And I feel like you are, like you said, transparent's the word that keeps coming up. You're very transparent, very honest. And people get that. It makes you relatable. I've seen people in the chat saying, "Man, Ragusa is so relatable." I think people were coming in here thinking we were going to see war paint and see a whole bunch of other stuff, but you're a relatable ass dude, and man, I think anybody can kind of connect with your story for that very reason. One thing that I wanted
We're
to
all
ask about,
human.
we are all human, 100%, and we've all gone through stuff. Like, you talked about stuff that would be very traumatic that you've gone through in your
Hmm.
life. So, I mean, everybody to some degree has some sort of a trauma that they've gone through. It might not be as big as, like you said, and not mean to bring up any hard memories, but
That's all right.
as losing a brother. But we all go through trauma, and I think everyone could kind of benefit from having a little bit more empathy, understanding people's situations a bit more. Um,
Yeah, I guess what the biggest reason to be like that is, I mean, Madden and football games. I love it at that.
yeah,
That's why it's really the only thing I play, because I enjoy it. I mean, that's for after football. I didn't have football, so it was a
yeah,
depressing part of my life. But couldn't even play the games anymore because it like made
yeah,
me sick, like nauseous. You
yeah,
have to like re establish your mind, because your whole life is sports, and then it has a timetable. But
yeah,
I mean, the one thing that doesn't go away, even if games or whatever went away, is like community and true friendship. So, I
yeah,
mean, how can I build a place of real people? It may take a long time, because real people, if there's 100 or 200 people that you see on a constant basis in the chat, well, maybe it'd be 500 right now if all I did was not give a shit who's in there. But
Yeah.
I want to create an environment rather than a number. Even though 100's good and all, but it would be more. There's we call it the gulag. There's probably 200 people in there right now, and over 85 unban requests. But every now and then I'll go unban them, but the mods aren't supposed to go in there and let them out. And the reason is I want to have an environment constructed. It takes a long time to build something like that many people, but I don't want just a bunch of people just flooding a chat and 50% of them is assholes.
Yeah, and it really does sound like you're kind of looking more to build something that's sustainable because, like you said, you're not in it for a quick buck. You're in it for long-term, continued success, and this is your full-time job right now. So, like you said, why settle? Get your viewer count up a little bit, and then be forced to kind of hang out with people who really are a detriment to your community that you're trying to build. So that's definitely the right way to go about it, I'd say. One thing I want to talk about, you've had some opportunities come your way from streaming, and I know one of them is working with Gridiron Game Plans, working with Zan.
Mm-hmm.
How did that connection first pop up? Did he approach you first, or did you guys know each other beforehand?
Yeah. He approached me. It was kind of like like after last year, because obviously I streamed last year, but not like this. But I guess different websites. There was actually a couple. Or maybe like 3 or 4 websites, so however many that is. But that messaged me after last year looking to wonder if there was like a percentage I'd take or a different deal to have like the affiliation and my content on the website or whatever it may be. But Zan approached me and I obviously knew who Zan was, and I always respect people that like you say, the long run, and he's been in Madden for a long time, and I mean, for the most part, I don't know many people that would have anything really bad to say about him. He loves football, and he may not have played for as long as some people, but he did play football. But you can love football and not play it that long and self-teach yourself via real football stuff. I mean, a lot of I respected about him is, I think he really loves defense, and a lot of the stuff that he learned is self-taught, but it's taught the same way that if the game codes it correctly, sometimes you have to switch something as far as teaching a community of people. Like, because in football, certain things may play different than the game, but for the most part, a lot of those concepts are, I learned them in a film room. But it's pretty impressive that way. But he had an appreciation. I guess he saw and other places saw that, like, what I would do, even though you see like the crazy plays and the moves and the stick and all that stuff. Some of it has anything to do with that. It's really like a looking at the defense and a conceptual thing. Even though you may see multiple formations, it's all based around like what the numbers is, and so that'll never actually go away. I mean, last year, people, I can't run the ball. I mean, I ran the ball all over everybody, and it's the same thing this year because I look at the number count and it's conceptual. They can never take concepts away. Glitches and all that other crap, they can remove that, But a concept lives forever, so. That's how, and I just appreciated whenever he offered to join the website. My name and community wasn't much big, but the offer in general, I thought it was good. I guess he saw and appreciated the concept, so it's good. And then we'll continue on actually through this year, and then we'll meet again and discuss going into the next Madden or. If I go somewhere else, that'll be kind of up to the situation, but because you always have to still get the best value of yourself,
Of course, and it's something you're probably constantly. I mean, your value is going up right now, like you're negotiating stuff based on where you were a year ago, whereas the situation is very different now. One of the top streamers in the Madden directory, constantly up in that top 10, and you're putting in hours now. You're putting in full-time hours plus all the behind-the-scenes stuff plus the parenting stuff, so you got yourself a pretty full schedule, so you got to really value your time.
That's what people don't understand. That's why even though I got irritated, maybe a little over the top, plus it's not really, I don't know, I was so mad at the W situation. He didn't say anything to me directly or about me. He's always been respectful, but to me, I guess it's just the way that I felt about people on your team and not allowing certain people, especially ones that I just I don't want to diss people on your stream, but
No,
certain things said, from people that I just don't have any respect for.
Yeah.
And just I think troll is the word they use for this.
Yeah.
So that on that aspect, but no, we already had settled our differences, but I've always
Yeah.
respected him for not only working hard over time, but people don't realize like the grind it is
Yeah.
to not only build community and have high level content and put the hours in while also having a baby's mama, a girlfriend, or a
Yes.
wife, and then a kid too.
Yeah.
And
It's a
so
lot.
it's interesting you say that because people like some of these young guys, it's like crazy to me, man. Like they have no outer responsibilities or distractions. Like
Yeah.
if I was that age with that grind to do like what they're doing, and that's why I
Yeah.
like Vose too. I think
Yeah.
he really does grind it and
He
takes
treats
the
it like
ups
a
and
job.
downs.
Yeah. Yeah, he
But
does.
I think I told him privately, like you should be dominating. You have no
Yeah.
distractions other than school, which is
Which he
school
probably
is
gets
is
done
what it
on
is.
one day a week, does all of his assignments, and then grinds mad in 6.5 days the rest of the time.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think he's an example of someone that doesn't make excuses. And
Yeah.
honestly, Vose has been nothing but respectful. As far as the ways that you're supposed to be respectful to people,
Yeah.
young man's nothing but respectful, and he works
Yeah.
hard. So if I
Yeah.
was his age and I had the vision to do something like that, I mean, think about when he's 25. Unless he just
Yeah.
uh, self destructs himself. I mean,
Yeah. And then
naturally he's
gets
gonna
caught.
grow. Yeah. I mean,
When
it's
I think
but
he had grown big on Fortnite too before he even came to Madden. I'm pretty sure he had like 100,000 subscribers or whatever
mhm.
on YouTube. So I mean, this is a guy who by
Which
the
is an
age of
example,
17
like
has reinvented himself twice already. Yeah, I didn't even
yeah,
know who I
yeah.
was by 17.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
And then that's an example. People can YouTube, 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 but
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason. I think both platforms are great, but as far as live streaming and
Yeah.
like if you want to maximize, I mean, to
Yeah.
be honest, unless you're at like 300 or 150,000 views a video on YouTube, I mean,
Yeah.
you can think about all the stuff you see YouTubers say about this is everyone's leaving Twitch, like it's all baloney.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree with
you
that
know,
for sure.
and Twitch is growing over time. So, as people grind Twitch and more people get their partnerships and stuff, they'll be able to see like there's stuff behind the scenes that they do that I think a lot of people, I can't disclose, but they take
Yeah.
care of people that put the time and the hours into the
Yeah.
support and grind on their platform.
Absolutely. And it's funny. Like, do you find that now that you're doing this thing full time, it's a lot of pressure? Like, working regular jobs, working at a bar, having set hours, obviously having tips and stuff like that too. But to the point where now you're your own sole source of income. Is there a lot of pressure that comes with that?
No.
Knowing that no, not you wouldn't say you're confident betting in yourself and
No, because I mean, I'm not really betting on myself. Like I tell people all the time, like I'm not a stupid person. I think a stupid person, when I say roll the dice and like bet on myself, I
yeah,
I, I think there was never a time in my life like before a certain median or like speaking to Twitch again, they
yeah,
show you statistics. So I think an idiot, that would be the word for it, would just
yeah,
look at statistics that went like this and
yeah,
just go like, you know what, dude? Yeah. I mean, I upgraded my whole living space. I mean, like
yeah,
almost tripled in size, not nothing not nothing like out of like just crazy, but
yeah,
I look at what's created off of community. One or two people, they can say F rag all they want. See you later,
yeah,
bro. I mean, it's gonna be just fine.
yeah,
Fucking see you later. See you later, bro. And a lot of the times they do that and they come back anyways. But
yeah,
my point is when you build a community, you establish a trend. You,
yeah,
you're never going to, you're not really betting on yourself unless you just for some reason become an actual piece of
yeah,
piece of S. I don't
yeah.
know. I don't want to cuss on your
No,
channel.
yeah, you
So
can, you can
um,
go right ahead.
yeah, unless
Yeah,
you just become like a scumbag, and
yeah,
then people like, that guy's not a good dude. Then yeah, your community leaves, and now did you bet on yourself and lose, or did you
yeah,
deserve, like, why would people hang around a bad person? But
yeah,
that's not going to happen to me, because that's all a choice, and
yeah,
so I didn't commit to that or the pressures. The only pressures I feel are just the goals I have in my head.
yeah,
And so we can stress ourselves out with goals or whatever. I never compared myself to people or oh, I see they have this, I want that. It's never been like that.
yeah,
It'll go up and down, but I mean that's just also like, I mean, look at a business, bro. Like any business, you may have some months that are like, oh, even millionaires, bro, they sell a project, bro. They got 2 million, right?
Yeah.
And then for 2 years they may not sell much projects. I mean, that's stressful. So the stresses of as far as that, I mean, no, man,
Yeah.
not at all, honestly. Because even working at a set job, like all of my jobs, were never like, oh, you do this, you get that amount of money. They're all
Yeah.
kind of like you can make as much as you're really worth. So
Yeah. No, that's incredible. And it's funny because I'm more of a conservative guy. I like having that paycheck of having the steady job and
oh yeah,
whatnot. And
so do
I
I.
see
But I
value
have
in
a
that
set.
too.
There's
Yeah.
a set. There's a set. There's a. It's not to say that I'm not. I probably have a lot of the same views as you do. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just like how you love what you're doing whenever you're streaming when you're not working.
Yeah.
Well, I love it too. Except just like you have, like what that's going to be.
Yeah.
I know based on analytics
Mm-hmm.
and trends and just off of the community established, like what could be up here and then also what could be on the low end. But either
Yeah.
way, I decided that even on the lowest of the low, I'm still
Yeah.
fine with that
Yeah.
because it's still more than enough to do something like this and not be hurting myself or my family.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely it. Like doing the management and you're a very intelligent guy. Like you obviously know exactly what you're talking about. You look at the analytics. You're very kind of
Mhm.
cerebral with how you approach everything, and that's something that like people who think that you just push the go live button and stream and that's it, and that's going to lead to the kind of success that you're having. It really is not. It's there's a science behind the whole thing too. So I appreciate you kind of sharing that
community,
insight.
community, and then yeah, I mean, I hope more people realize and they look at. Um, I mean, I think if they just listen to people that think like that, like, oh, you just go live. I mean,
Yeah,
a good example, and one of he's a young man. I mean,
yeah.
he's not too much younger than me, but he's 6 years younger than me with Civil. You know Civil, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Damn,
Me and
Is
him have,
Sybil like 21? Is he that young?
yeah,
22?
he's 21 years old,
Wow.
man, and
No
and
shot. Yeah.
me and him, people may not know, but I mean, I think we talk on the phone maybe every other week or every week sometimes, and we have good talks about different things,
Yeah.
and and part of that is even him been in Madden or the Madden scene as far as people knowing him longer than I have.
Yeah.
But one of those talks we had was just about him maximizing the platform, like not just YouTube, which is takes time to build, but
Yeah.
maximizing his personality and creativity and being able to have a camera on and play and all that stuff. I mean, that's not for
Yeah.
everybody. It's some people think like, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna do that, and then they're like, oh man, this is odd.
Yeah.
So it's nice because you can not only explain the different things, whether it's using your Twitter or social medias to let people know that you're even streaming, or having links with different mods to help you out if they so please, and then creating all of that stuff to help build the community and what you are.
Yeah.
You to build you. And if you just think you're going to press live and people will go there and you don't encourage them to put the go live notifications on or follow your
Yeah.
social medias, if you don't do those things, I mean, how can you expect to properly build? You
Yeah.
can't. I mean, you're a dreamer at that time.
Yeah.
Dreams without vision or preparation is just, you're the guy that's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be the president one day, but
Yeah.
you're not, because you
Yeah.
didn't do anything to be the president.
Exactly. It doesn't just fall into your lap. Everything is calculated to agree, but also, it is hard work. It's not, playing video games is a kind of a source of escape, and you said that too for yourself. It's something we do to escape the stresses of everyday life, but playing video games professionally is as much a job as going out and working at a construction site or being a teacher.
Yeah.
And it's if it's providing for your family, and that's a pretty incredible success story that you've had so
And
far.
streaming too, like speaking of the game, like that's another
Yeah.
thing. Like you can't. I choose, like, so that's why, like, sometimes I'll have a little free time, maybe 30 minutes or an hour here and there
Yeah.
before I go live. But like I have content too. It may be sold or delivered on someone else's website, but to
Yeah.
have content, you have to take time to see how the game's going to play and all that stuff. So that's another underrated feature, especially with our game being a strategy and skill game. I mean,
Yeah.
Madden. Sometimes I wish it was more strategy based, but
Less
the game's
animation
gonna,
based. Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna fluctuate throughout the years. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I personally, and I know a lot of people. I mean, the game is. let us down in some ways, but the content's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Different cards, and then
Yeah.
everyone is at the end of the day. I mean, people are still playing. People play. I'll play till the end, till the next Madden comes out, till the content stops coming, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm having a lot of fun, even though
Yeah.
sometimes it's like I'm like, oh my god, like I mean, I literally feel myself like I got to get out of here. Like I feel like I'm
Yeah.
in a nightmare. But
Yeah.
you
Last night
know,
might have been an example. I was in your chat last night. I know it was
oh
like
yeah,
playing a
that
couple
got
singles in
better.
weekend
That got
league.
better.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah, man.
that got better over time. But
It's
imagine that
tough.
for 6 hours. Whatever you saw, like, because
Yeah.
we won 8 straight after that. But whatever you saw, like, I mean, sometimes that'll carry on for
Oh
six
yeah.
hours. I mean, the heart, man.
Man, it does. It has an impact. It stays with you. Like I don't even play Madden at a highly competitive level, but we all want to get better at the game. We all want to win every game that we play. Like we'd
Oh
obviously prefer
yeah,
to win than lose. But if I go 0 and I swear I've gone 0 and 5 on stream before, and I've been like the next day I'm at my job and I'm like, God, am I ever gonna
oh
win a
yeah.
Madden game again? Like you go through
You
these
got to get
streaks
that out
and
of there, though. Yeah,
it's tough.
that's the one
That
cool thing about like I used to in the old place that we lived, the old studio apartment. I had my setup, but I'm like right there in the open, and the
yeah
baby was little, so it didn't matter. They don't know what's going on, and I
yeah
would be careful.
yeah
The
yeah
baby sleeps most of the time,
yeah
but that's why it was important. I think when you do something like the way that I'm doing it, to like have your own space, and so like
yeah
whether it's a good day or bad day, like when I walk out of the door to go into the living room and kitchen area with my family, I make sure that like if I had a bad day, no one can really tell,
yeah
especially my 1 year old daughter, so
yeah
like
hundred
you just
percent
got to leave it there, bro. And I do a
yeah
good job, bro. I leave it there. I'll be mad. I'll walk out and then I'll eat
yeah.
some food and then just go to bed, bro.
And then it's
Just
then
go
it's
to bed.
Daddy Reg is got the father's hat on, and you're good to go. That's awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It's like, do you need to decompress after a stream? Like, because it's pretty high energy for quite a few
Oh,
hours. Yeah. Are you
not
able
all
to
the
just, I
time.
guess, to switch?
Sometimes. I mean, sometimes I have to. Like, I have. I keep this thing. I'll show you. I
Yeah.
keep this thing in the room, and sometimes I'll just lay. I'll lay on this, and
Yeah.
I'll just roll out. It's just a foam roller, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just lay there for like a long time, bro, with my neck on it. Um, One of like a mentor. His name's RC. He's 51, but he's become a really good friend of mine. He
Yeah.
gave me another idea. If I ever feel like that, you get some water bottles and put them under your neck.
Yeah.
Because with the high energy, sometimes you got to mellow down. But I mean, I'm so drained after the streams. Like as far as like my energy, like going
Yeah.
like mellowing down's easy. But I remember like there was a day last week. It was just a nightmare because I'm competitive. Otherwise,
Yeah.
why would I play Madden as much as I do and have fun? I mean,
Yeah.
no one likes losing, but I'm not on there just to necessarily have fun. I like competition. I can't play
Yeah.
real sports anymore. I mean, I guess I could go play in the dad softball league, but I don't want
It's not
to.
the same deal. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes you got to decompress, but for me, it's never too much. I mean, I'm just I just turn it off, bro, and
Yeah.
kind of relax myself, and then go eat food and go to bed.
Yeah. No, kudos to you for that because it's not easy. It's not easy to separate, and keep strong mental
I had to
health.
learn something. I had to learn, bro. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to learn those things. You have to train your mind for that, bro.
Yeah.
Because especially before the baby. I mean, the games used to be different though. I play money games, and I play like
Yeah.
maybe 20 of them, just nonstop on like an
Yeah.
off day or in between work or whatever. And
Yeah.
I'd win most of them, but it was a different game. And same thing with whatever it is, bro. You just got to turn it off. But especially
Yeah.
when you got like my 70-year-old mother-in-law from the
Yeah.
Philippines, we
Yeah.
did the paperwork. She lives with us, and
Oh,
then
nice.
yeah, my wife and my daughter. So like those people out there,
Yeah.
even if I'm in a bad mood, like if I'm really upset about something, I just be quiet.
Yeah.
You don't need to. I do my best. I'm not perfect, but I do my best to never bring negative energy around them.
Yeah. Then now, kind of off. I have one thing that I wanted to ask you. Well, one last thing about kind of goals
Yeah.
and stuff for the future. But with your wife being from the Philippines, her mother-in-law coming in, do you get a lot of good Filipino cooking at home, or is that are you mostly with a North American diet over there? Any
Um, I,
specialties?
I mean, it depends on what they're cooking.
Yeah.
I unfortunately, I like some of the food, like the
Yeah.
Filipino food, but
Yeah.
most of it I just don't like. It's
Yeah.
just
It's
like
different.
almost, Yeah, it's just most of it I just don't like. So,
Yeah,
but she does. My mother-in-law, especially, she cooks. My wife doesn't cook that much, but she does. Um, and certain things I'll be like hell yeah, and then some things I'm like, oh, I want a pizza.
yeah,
But you know, it's fine. They eat what they want, and I eat what I want. But yeah, some of the food's good. Like I like adobo, and then some of the stuff I don't know
yeah,
what it's called, but it's
yeah.
good. You know.
We got a place out here called Jollibee. I don't know if you have any of those in Texas,
Oh
but
yeah,
they
yeah, a
do you
Jollibee.
do
That's
you
kind of
guys have them
like
down there?
not. Yeah, yeah, we have that. Yeah, they got good spicy chicken. That's not really Filipino food. That's
No,
like
that's fast food. Filipino
Philip.
fast food. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they got good chicken though, man. I mean,
Yeah.
we get that probably like at least once a month. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Capitan, I see you, man.
That's a classic. That's a classic. Yeah, we got the school I work at.
Lumpia is good.
Probably 40% of my classes is Filipino, so it's a big community out here in Toronto.
Oh
Um,
wow, I didn't
yeah,
know
yeah,
that.
yeah. No, no, it's huge. It's a lot of people come over
That's
to the
crazy. They go from
Philippines.
the Philippines to the
Yeah.
Canada
Oh yeah,
because
it's a
that's a
culture
totally
shock.
different climate, bro. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's awesome though. They're good
Oh,
people. I mean, honestly,
100%, man. Yeah.
I went there for 2 weeks. Gosh, it's so long ago, but
Yeah.
went there. I went to different Boracay and different places, and then I spent
Yeah.
the most fun I had was in the places that really open your eyes to the
Yeah.
culture. Even her family, they don't live like some of the people you drive by in the same province,
Yeah.
like just nothing, man. I mean, but they're happy people.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to see not only what the price we pay up there. Your money is I think you make more, but it like when it transitions to
Yeah.
American, it like even for you to gift a sub, Mr.
Yeah.
Filthy Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, he told me, but like how you gifted 5 subs yesterday, I know that
Yeah.
that costs more than what the
Yeah.
U.S. dollar is. So thank you for that. But
Oh, my
it's
pleasure,
just
man.
it's crazy what me and you would pay for the simplest to live in a middle class life
Yeah.
compared to if we took that middle class life and went down there or where
Yeah.
to the Philippines. We would be considered like, oh my goodness, look at all that.
Yeah.
Your money just goes further, but you make more to live
Yeah.
less and
The
really
creature
more
comforts that we have
sustainable
here.
areas. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wouldn't want to live in the Philippines,
Yeah.
but I don't mind visiting and really I wouldn't mind living in the Philippines, but to play Madden over there would be almost impossible because
Oh,
of the
yeah. The server
the
setup.
Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. So could
Yeah.
still stream over there, be it just chat or play the computer, but whatever.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be enjoying my
Yeah.
life, but maybe later in life, you take your money and you go over there or something, but
Yeah.
anytime they want to
100%.
visit,
Well,
but
it's good.
yeah,
It's
it's
good to have the
definitely nice
ties
to
over
see
there.
different
Yeah.
cultures. Oh yeah,
100%.
good people.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last thing I wanted to ask you, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. Are you going to be booting up a stream
Oh, you're
later on
fine, man.
tonight? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm
Appreciate
not
that.
going till late, man. It's all good. I got to work
Oh.
out with the wife. She's
Oh,
been
beautiful.
wanting to work
Okay.
out. Yeah, we've been
Nice.
working out.
Well, the thing I wanted to ask you about, because we've seen kind of the journey of you to get to this point where you're at now, which is one of the top streamers in the Madden directory. Obviously, a success and being able to support yourself and your family, by doing this thing that you're doing now. Well, what do you envision yourself doing down the road? What are the long term goals that you have set for yourself, or some of the things you're trying to work towards? As you go forward in this Twitch journey.
Long term, I don't know. I always appreciate when people set like those goals or New Year's
Yeah.
stuff, but I don't. I really do live in the moment and
Yeah.
just make sure whatever I'm doing is making sure that it's because time we can't make up for time, So I don't want to
Yeah.
waste time or because wasted time really just hurts my daughter and my family. So
Yeah.
I just envision making sure that I'm making the right relationships and then some things just take time to build. But I guess if I had to say like one long term thing, I think it'd be cool, if the world gets back to somewhat normality for
Yeah.
the greater population right now. If you just I don't even watch the news, but
Yeah. Same.
if you did, it's a wild place out there. But would be to like those live events or meetups and stuff. Not necessarily like
Yeah.
a Twitch con, but like stuff like that. Like I saw this is on a real big scale, but he's been doing it longer and he's got a bigger community. But like
Yeah.
Nick Merckx did like an entire like they all met up at like a festival barbecue thing,
Yeah.
and those kind of things like where you bring community together and people meet each other, that would be pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that as you build community and if it's ever possible, I think that's like really the
Yeah.
biggest thing because numbers and money and stuff, you'll see it all the time, bro. Like money is for me is just something as long as I am not too stressed because I'm making so little that I can't
Yeah.
even like think right because I'm
Yeah.
so stressed on like what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Um, it's really just a necessity to make sure that you're living life and not just thinking about it all the time. So I
Yeah.
never really set goals for like, oh, I think we at one point we were at almost like 4,000 subs.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because our community was much smaller then, and but I want to just have stability, and my goals are never like, oh, 10,000 subs or
Yeah.
anything like that. That'll always go up and down, but it'll never, as if you establish community, it'll never do what this is. That right
Yeah.
there, that's probably because they didn't have community at all.
Yeah.
um and so I just think my goals are really like, if I had a big goal, would be to have something like that where you
Yeah.
meet people, which actually this month I'll be able to meet some of the guys in my stream because I'll be in Florida and they don't live too far. So
Nice.
I'll be at an event in Florida at Full Sail, and that'll be pretty cool. I'll get to actually meet some of the people that I've built friendships with.
Nice.
Some of the army guys. Yeah.
Yeah, and my guy Go Geezy just coming in with a massive raid and host. I appreciate that, guys. We're sitting down with Ragusa right now in the midst of the Around the Gjallarhorn podcast, and he's been absolutely crushing it so far. Been an open book, really kind of giving us an insight into Ragusa the streamer, Ragusa the person, and it's been an incredible privilege to kind of sit down with you here. I think
Oh, thank you.
it's amazing. One of the things that really comes across when you're talking is that community really is the foundation for you. Like, when I ask people these goals for their stream, it's about, a number to hit on YouTube, or it's about,
Yeah.
like, subscribers, or, financial related. And for you, it all comes back to the community. And I think as long as you keep on, being transparent like you have been, and being a genuine person, and putting your community above everything else, I think it's like you said, like there's no limit to how much success you can have on this platform. So, man, I really do think you're doing things the exact right way, and the growth that you've shown from just the time when I met you, which is probably right around after the first bot wars to now, is just really inspiring stuff, man. So I do appreciate
Oh,
you
thank
taking
you.
the time to come through and sit down and give us this insight.
Yeah, I always say this though, like with the community stuff that I say. I mean, there's two ways to go about it, and I think some people they have it all twisted. But there's the people on the platform that think they're gonna hang out somewhere.
Yeah.
They're gonna hang out somewhere and then not build community, but fake their way and just fake their way around community and whatnot. Take that for
Yeah.
whatever you want, but people aren't stupid. And then there's just like me. I truly view it as this, like, one, I've never really ever worked for anybody, like family jobs and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
like friends that are literally like family. So never felt that way. You always respect the places you make money at and the people that worked hard to build them.
Yeah.
But um, you know, uh, this is true. The true dream of it is you're literally you can't make people support you. You can't make people do anything, and you never ask them to. But when you build friendships and community, one, they're never having pity. It's no pity donos or pity subs. They just you have a value that some streamers don't. They don't have that value in their head. They think that basically the whole thing is the streamer and the viewer, and the streamer is oh, thank you to the viewer. Well, yes,
Yeah.
you're thankful for the viewer, but good viewers and good community, when they have content that they enjoy, you know what they do? They support it. Just like if they're at a restaurant and they spend money and
Yeah.
they want to tip someone. And that's what's funny about all these people that think this and that. Well, I mean, one, you should have a higher standard for yourself,
Yeah.
and two, when you build the right community, there are people that enjoy your content at a level that it's like, man, I want to see more of that content if I
Yeah.
can, and if I'm appreciative and I'm able, I'm going to support that content. I'm going to support that person. And
Yeah.
so I don't work for a person. I have a contract with Twitch, but it's a contract within Twitch. I don't I
Mhm.
don't work for Twitch. And
Yeah.
I always say, like, I work for the people. And that's a pretty cool thing, because as people come and as people go, you don't have to chase people. And as long
Yeah.
as you weren't the reason that they left, and you don't own them, you don't owe anyone an apology, and the pride's not the reason that you don't say, hey, I'm sorry, which I have, I think, like
Yeah.
maybe 2 or 3 times, like never nothing crazy, but I've had
Yeah.
to apologize before. But
Yeah.
other than that, people want to go, let them go. People want to
Yeah.
come, welcome them in. But as community grows, it's much bigger than just the one person, because even if something happens to me, there's without a doubt, without any BS, there's friendships that'll carry on, and
Yeah.
that's the cool thing about it is the community. True community is like the closest thing to like for me is like a locker room, or
Yeah.
with sports, you build genuine friendships out, even on the internet, as
Yeah.
long as it's a genuine person building it. Now if it's a bunch of fakeness and fraudulent people, well, then you're going to build a fraudulent community. And I mean, take that for what you want. But
Yeah.
if you're a genuine person, then you build genuine relationships, and those can never really go away because they're genuine. It's just like, your best friend growing up. I mean, until he did something to not be your best friend anymore, I mean, he's your brother, and that's
Yeah.
the same way I feel.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's the kind of, I'm trying to think of the word here. The I don't know, catering your community towards these high character type of individuals. It's kind of what makes your streams enjoyable, and obviously the high level gameplay, we all love coming out for that. The big personality, we love coming out for that too. But as you get more entrenched in this Twitch community, you get to know the characters like the RCs in your chat, filthiest Canadian coming through
Yeah,
your chat. Like you know that when you go in there, you're gonna see your boys hanging out there in the middle of the
good
night when
people.
everybody else is sleeping, and everybody else is up watching Reg. So,
That's what's cool too, man.
yeah,
Is what other place and can you think of is those people like that you named? I could go on and on,
yeah,
but totally different people. Some with the same views, some with
yeah,
the same mentality on important subjects.
yeah,
Rather, it's maybe their private political views or their
yeah,
religious views, or maybe they're black, white, or brown, green, blue. It doesn't fucking matter.
yeah,
They all hang out and get along because in that moment, for the 5 to 10 hours that we're all hanging out and talking mess or playing Madden or whatever it is, or
yeah,
even just chilling drinking, but you're watching some crazy man, the rag man play whatever he's playing. You know, everyone's just hanging out, and that's what I think is cool. Is I don't know any other places, even at a bar. You have a certain set of people that hang out in certain
yeah,
types of bars, and
yeah,
there may be a mix of personalities, but for the most part, you have certain types of establishments. But that's what's pretty cool is you got all kinds of people that hang out together and get along
yeah.
and can build friendships. And I
And
didn't think
it's
that was possible.
Yeah, well, it's part of the universal appeal that you have. You appeal to people like the 50-year-olds, the 12-year-old YouTuber guys.
Not that many
And
12-year-olds in the
the
stream, but I
33-year-old Canadian
appreciate it.
teachers. Yeah, no, I know your stream is definitely not. You definitely have the 18 plus
No,
filter on
I
there.
don't
I'm
have
sure.
that.
You don't have
No,
that. Let's go.
no, no,
Yeah. Damn. Do,
no.
do I need to remove mine? Should I get rid of mine? I put my 18 plus on here, and I feel like
Oh, you should definitely. Yeah, that's probably been hurting you.
Oh
18 plus. You
damn.
need to go look at what that means, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have
Partial
two mics, and
nudity.
I'm not. No, it's
Yeah.
not even partial nudity. It's
Yeah.
just saying like whatever cuss words or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, what are cuss words? If my
Yeah.
daughter says shit, but she used it right, if she says shit,
Yeah.
but she used it right, that makes my daughter smarter than the other
Yeah.
2-year-old
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
doesn't know what a bad word is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Oh
so
damn,
no,
that's
you're
what I'm doing right
definitely
after
not
this
not
stream.
eight. You're definitely not an 18 plus stream. And
Yeah.
honestly, either am I. I'm really careful. I may say certain things, but
Yeah.
there's certain ways that you say certain things. Some things are unacceptable to say. And as long as you don't say those unacceptable things, or you don't
Yeah.
stick your tongue inside of a microphone while
Yeah.
talking to the viewers, I don't think that you're 18 plus. But
Yeah.
there's some younger guys, but 12 years old, I don't know. But honestly, I don't want to create a 12 years old community
Exactly.
because
That's not it. That's not the
then
vibe.
if they no, man, I mean, because think about your content. I mean, the only way
Yeah.
that they can appreciate your content is if they get permission from their mom and dad to give some
Exactly.
subs or make a donation. But
Yeah.
to each their own.
Yeah. 100%. But Reg, man, it's been a pleasure. We've been on here for over an hour already. It feels like it went by
Yeah,
super
absolutely.
fast. But I really do appreciate you taking time out of your day to sit
Appreciate
on
you
the
having me.
podcast, man. And honestly, one of my favorite guests to have on here. I feel like I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
put this thing up on YouTube, and I really hope that people get a glimpse of the real
Hey, let me know when it
Ragusa.
goes on there, man. I'll
100%, my
I'll
dude.
definitely share it with my friends.